Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Auric League. We are here with a very fun set. We got the Wretched Shop Xenomorph. We got Loyalty versus Prism, and this will be an exciting matchup. And right off the bat, we see a chase onto Soul. OG Velociraptor going to be bringing the aggression this time around and bringing a very quick hit to boot. And that is going to be a quick hit, and that pallet is not safe to drop as a result. A bit of an insane hit from Velociraptor. Oh my goodness, that is a very quick down. And Velociraptor showing some incredible skill on this killer really quickly. I couldn't even say the team names. Velociraptor is going to be playing for Team Prism as the killer. And do we have a disconnect? I believe we have a disconnect. I'm not sure. I'm guessing we're still going to play it out unless the refs tell me otherwise. But right now, Velociraptor is going to be bringing that aggression even more onto Karma, getting a tag right through the tile here. And with that, that's going to be a lot of pressure just going to be going around this hook. Unfortunate for Loyalty, who is on the survivors, that they do not have another body. Because right now, Ray is the only survivor eligible. All right, I was informed that we are, in fact, restarting very soon. So thank you all for bearing with us. We will be back. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Auric League. We apologize for that little bit of an interruption, but we are back with Velociraptor playing the Xenomorph for Prism, going up against Loyalty Survivors. And just like we saw earlier, we see Velociraptor just going straight across the map and instantly finding survivors. Can he get a similar quick down as we saw before? We do have a pretty strong tile here with the bus, but Lastfur is going to be making it towards this modified 4-lane, and that is going to be some very good line of sight blockers, but it is not enough. Velociraptor is going to take the tag with the M1 and continue the chase around Shack. We do have a turret set up here by Loyalty teammates, going to be giving some distance to Lastfur, and the Shack pallet is now in play. Velociraptor trying to play around the Shack pallet rather than breaking it, but it does look like Lastfur is going to be leaving Shack altogether and going away. They might have another turret set up in this area, but we will have to see. Velociraptor closing in on the target as they run towards the top side of the map. We do have that turret here, but thanks to those add-ons, we actually see the turrets not being as effective, but it does not look like they are going to make the pallet. A bit of a wave tech coming through here. Velociraptor going to demon kick and then get stunned. The down is not going to matter. Very well played from Loyalty. And now Velociraptor is going to have to continue to this chase or go somewhere else, it looks like. Velociraptor does not want to continue the chase onto Lastfur because they are in a relatively safe area of the map where they had time to set up turrets. Very good turret placement here from Shoal, and Lastfur gets healed to full, essentially bringing Velociraptor down to nothing. And Loyalty are playing this extremely well, going to be running away from the Shack. And now Velociraptor is in a bit of a bind as there are no injured survivors and there is gen progress on the board. We hear a lot of progress over here, but that is going to be an interruption with the Ruin in play. And Velociraptor is going to continue chase here on the top side of main, where a turret was just set up and now is going to be broken. But these survivors have quite a bit of distance thanks to the power of this main building. And they are going to loop back around towards this turret, which is double turreted actually, which is going to slow down Velociraptor extremely well. And the survivors are playing around these turrets a lot. And that is exactly what you need to see from players against Xenomorph. And right now we have Ray going to be chasing around this modified 4-lane from earlier. And just like earlier, that's going to be a tag at this pallet. Ray does manage to drop it, but it does not look like Velociraptor is in the business of breaking things during chase. Is going to be pressuring a survivor off of this generator, going around the truck pallet, but Velociraptor now has the tail power yet again. Goes for a bit of an ambitious tail that does not quite land, but now thanks to, kind of mistimes the tail whip there as well. That's going to give Shoal some distance, and now generators are beginning to pop. We do still have Ray tag, but that is the only thing on the board that Velociraptor has. A bit of a fake is not going to lead to Velociraptor missing a tail whip. Instead is going to take the M1 and continue the chase around this top side of the map, where we do actually have that pallet dropped. Ray is going to be found yet again around this truck. Going to be getting a tag with that tail right through the pallet. And Ray is going to be running straight to that main building, which is devastating for the Xenomorph here. Just look how much distance Ray managed to get due to that building blocking. And that is going to be a down after some time. Oh, but Velociraptor goes for a tail whip rather than going for an M1, which is much safer. And now we have the turret in play as well, going to be knocking Velociraptor out of power. And Ray is actually going to choose to die way far out in the corner. Very good death spot here from Ray. And I bet we're going to see survivors popping gens very, very soon. Velociraptor, unfortunately, does not have the same kind of dynamite start that he had in the first game before the reset. But right now we have 2 generators finished and a bunch of turrets in play, which Velociraptor is trying to deal with, but is going to be going into the tunnels here. trying to find survivors on the generators. We do actually see survivors doubling this generator here. And very well played from Velociraptor, being patient there and getting that tag onto Karma. And now they are running straight back towards those turrets on the top side of the map. That is going to limit Velociraptor's power usage and get some more distance towards that top side of the map. The pallet is still down. That is going to buy so much time. They managed to heal Ray in the meantime as well, which means that's one more body that they can put in between Velociraptor and the survivor that's being chased. These resources are flying like hotcakes, but Velociraptor is keeping up the relentless pursuit of Karma. We're going to be playing around this truck tile. A bit of a play there with the fire factor, and that's not going to knock him out of power, and that's going to be a down as well. A little bit of cheeky positioning there, going to get no pickup save. The Velociraptor now has 2 downs on the board with 2 generators remaining. I do think that the survivors of Loyalty have brought this back extremely well. Velociraptor forced to kind of break the turrets around here before going into portal. Is going to come out of the tunnels and find Ray, who has already been hooked once. And Ray's going to make some distance with an exhaustion perk. I believe that was Sprint Burst. He's going to make it to this tile, but eating a tail whip. Velociraptor's going to continue that chase around this relatively unsafe pallet, but Ray jiggies it away and is going to make a lot of distance towards the bottom side of the map. And if Velociraptor's not careful, that is going to be a down, but other gens could pop soon. One generator popped during that chase. And Ray has already been hooked before, which means that if he tries to camp this out, he's going to get less hook stages than if it was a fresh hook. Velociraptor choosing to go inside of the tunnels and go back up towards the top side of the map, trying to pressure these generators. We do see a heal onto Shoal. No survivors are in the area here. Very smart from Velociraptor to use that tunnel mobility to try to get back towards the hook. We are going to see a play for the people to prevent the tunnel out onto Ray, but that leaves Last for vulnerable and going down, which is yet another fresh hook added to Velociraptor's collection. Velociraptor is going to continue to come towards this top side generator that has quite a bit of progress now, with 2 healthy survivors nearby, Karma and Shoal. And Karma is going to be running towards this pallet gym, pretty safe against the Xenomorph, unless you get caught out like that. Very well played from Velociraptor, exploiting that positioning error. But now Velociraptor is going to be running towards that hill gen, does not want it to pop, and is trying to get as much value out of that ruin as possible, as we've been seeing. But the survivors here are playing around the hill very well. That's going to be Shoal in chase around that main building. And they set up a turret, actually. That was Karma, who was injured, setting up a turret for his teammate. And now Velociraptor is back in pursuit. Another turret here going to buy some time. Velociraptor has to continue the chase elsewhere and finds a survivor out here. We have yet to see him use the bamboozle in chase. But we are going to see an M1 tag, 3 survivors injured now. And we have to wonder if they are pressuring another generator while threatening this topside generator the way that they've been playing. A very good down from Velociraptor onto Ray, who is the tunnel out target. And with this down is going to be the first kill of the match here at 1 generator. 5 stages on the board for Velociraptor. And now we're going to have to see if he's able to pressure these generators to make something more, or if it's too little too late. Once again, we do see Velociraptor checking on this topside generator. It has been regressing with Ruin this whole time as the survivors begin to reset. And Now Velociraptor is looking for footsteps, trying to find any survivors rotating around. Does see some scratch marks here around the bus, and that is going to be Lasper in chase around this modified 4-lane. And a bit of cheeky play around here, but that pallet is going to prove to be Velociraptor's undoing. And now he's just going to abandon this chase and go inside of the tunnels. We do know that this chase was quite a bit of ways away from that generator that had progress on it. And it makes sense for Velociraptor to come back. Does not find any survivors, but is just using the portals to his advantage, trying to check on these generators and kind of prevent whereabouts knowledge. But now that is going to be Karma in chase, and yet again a turret set up right there. Fresh for Velociraptor to take a hit, and that's going to get quite a bit of damage or distance for Karma. Karma is going to eat a tail whip tag, and Velociraptor does not want to commit. He knows that this generator at the top side of the map has so much progress. Is just going to be using the tunnels to get right back over there. We do hear that killer instinct, and that is Shoal with the balanced landing. He'll be chasing around the main building, and these turrets are placed up so well. And now we actually see some progress on the main generator, which is going to give Velociraptor some more headache. He cannot just focus on defending one generator. Instead, he has to be mindful of two. But Velociraptor's kind of far away from both of them, checking on this third generator. Is not quite able to find a survivor. We do actually see the Ruin get taken down, and a very good dodge from Lasper. Velociraptor not quite able to connect that hit. But with that Ruin gone, that's going to be one of the only reset perks that, or one of the only slowdown perks that Velociraptor had in the arsenal gone. Now we're going to have to see what he's able to do without that passive slowdown that bought quite a bit of time on that generator at the top. Velociraptor is going to be running straight down towards the shack. Two survivors in the area, one of which is the injured Karma. But instead, Velociraptor is playing for the tag onto Shoal. Wants these two survivors to be injured, so they are forced to play around the injuries. And he can pressure that generator at the top side of the map. So far, Velociraptor is playing this pretty well. Does have two injuries on the board. Lasper must be hammering out that last generator, though, and we have to be mindful of that. However, Shoal is going to be running straight up towards this turret, and Velociraptor misses the turret with the tail whip and now has to play the M1 game. However, a head-on is going to save Shoal. I spoke too soon. They're playing this super well, and that is going to be the generator popping. And now we have two survivors down here at Shack, one of which is Shoal, who is going to be caught out at the TNL. Very well played. And Velociraptor finally going to expose that bamboozle, which was not called out earlier due to it not being used, and getting that M1 hit with the no-ed reveal as well. That is going to give the enemy survivors plenty of knowledge that they probably should not go for this save. And yes, they're just going to take their outs. It does look like we're going to see 8 stages total for Velociraptor on the Xenomorph on Wreckers. Coming up, we are going to see whether Loyalty's killer can match or beat that, so please do stay tuned. We have more exciting DVD games coming up very shortly. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Auric League. We are here with Prism versus Loyalty. And last game, we did see Velociraptor give a result of, I believe it was 7 stages on the Xenomorph. Can Last for match that or beat that? We are going to see. We do have a pretty quick chase here onto Autumn, and that is going to be a very quick and safe M1 tag. And Autumn does have the crane here, which is a very strong tile, but Lasfer actually wants to zone Autumn towards the top side of the map. But thanks to that turret there, that's actually going to buy Autumn some time. And the chase is not going to be over just yet. And a very well-placed head-on is going to buy even more time as well. Lasfer not quite able to land that tail hit, and is going to be forced to break that pallet. Lasper also finding yet another turret here, going to slow down the progress even more. And that's going to be, I believe that's Velociraptor getting lots of distance towards the other side of the map. We do actually find the injured Autumn here. This is going to be dangerous for Prism. Can Autumn make it out of this tile? We do see Autumn looping back around towards the turret, and Lasper is forced to break the turret, which is going to get a little bit of distance for Autumn, but I don't think it's quite going to be enough. A tail whip going to secure that down, and Autumn going down kind of in the center of the map. Now we have Lasper dragging Autumn down towards this bottom side hook. And very interestingly enough, Lasper has chosen a Gift of Pain into the perk arsenal today. We're going to have to see if that comes into play later. But Lasper is going to be walking around breaking these turrets, and with the first hook coming through at 5 generators, which is a bit different from how we saw Velociraptor's game turn up. We're going to have to see what Prism is able to do from this position. Lasper does manage to teleport onto the generator and is going to be applying Eruption to it. And going to continue the chase around the train here. And that's going to be a tag onto Kego. Kego is going to be making distance towards the top side of the map, but Autumn gets pulled in the meantime. And now we're going to have to see whether Lasper can get a quick tunnel out. We do actually see a For the People play, but Lasper is going to get it down onto the now vulnerable Velociraptor and go for that hook instead. Another thing to note is that we did have Eruption up on 2 generators, which is going to be quite a bit of progress gone for the survivors of Prism. And now Lasper is doing something incredibly smart here. Going to be dragging Velociraptor next to this generator. That has quite a bit of progress, and that's going to be unfortunate for Prism, because not only is this going to deny progress on this gen any further, but now we have an Eruption proc and the injured Kego found in the area. Lasper not quite able to land that tail whip. Very good positioning from Kego around this tile. Kego going to be running back up towards the center of the map. Is going to be playing around these T and Ls. A bit of a mind game from Lasper, though, going to catch Kego off guard, securing that down, proccing that Eruption. And now Lasper has a slug kind of in the vicinity of the hook and is able to pressure Xander away from the unhook at the same time. Lasper is playing this extremely well, just the pressure is being unsurmountable for the survivors. And now Lasper is just going to be looking around, going from pressure point to pressure point, trying to get survivors off gens, off the unhook, off the slug save. He's just looking back and forth. Xander is running in to pick up Kego. Meanwhile, Velociraptor is going to go second, and Lasper kind of in the area to secure that. But can he get the read down onto Kego? Kego does have Shack here. That's going to be quite difficult. Oh, I spoke too soon. Lasper played that Shack incredibly well and is going to get the down back onto Kego. And is going to continue to slug and going into the portal, going through the tunnels to try to catch off a survivor. We don't see any survivors in the area. Velociraptor is going to be healed to full, which is very crucial for the survivors of Prism at this moment, because unlike last game where Velociraptor was going for a tunnel out pretty quickly, Lasfer has chosen not to tunnel out and is instead has 2 fresh hooks at 3 generators. And already we're seeing this generator in the center kind of nearing regression block. Kego getting picked up and healed to full in a short amount of time is also incredibly good for the survivors of Prism, and now is playing around this 4 lane and is unfortunately going to eat a tail whip. But Lasfer is hot on Kego's trail. Kego just has this really shitty edge map palette. He's going to be running around it, but it's not going to matter up against this killer. That is going to be a pickup after the quick down. And Lasfer is playing this killer extremely well so far, doing a very good job in chase. That's 3 hooks on the board. Very interesting to note is that we have that Gift of Pain in play, which means Velociraptor and Autumn, who were healed, they're doing gens slower at this time. So going for a less of a tunnel out strategy and more for a fresh strategy is actually probably working on Lasfer's favor here. And there we have Kego getting unhooked, and the last fresh hook, Xander, going to be in the area most likely. Lasfer doing some mind games here at the dump truck, going to catch Kego off guard. And unfortunately for Kego, that's going to be a very quick redown after the pull. And it also procs Eruption, which is going to slow down the survivors even more. Lasfer keeping up the pressure, going to be pressuring this shack generator where the survivors were very recently. And this middle generator has yet to pop due to the constant regression as well as that Gift of Pain. Lasfer is applying Eruption to it yet again, going to be nearing it ever so closer to that regression blocker. But we do have, excuse me, I'm sorry. We do have Xander in the area, going to be dodging that tail whip. Very good play from Xander so far around the shack. Lasfer not quite able to get the tag, but is kind of nearby for the pressure onto Kego's hook as well. This generator is super close, but Lasfer just keeps pushing survivors off of that generator and is now threatening both Kego and the gen. It does look like they are playing extremely aggressive on that generator, and it looks like we do see Velociraptor coming through for a save. It is going to be a trade, unfortunate for Prism, but Kego is going to be making some distance, just holding on to life just a bit longer while Velociraptor reaches that second stage. Oh, I'm sorry, reaches Death Hook. I didn't actually know he was on Death Hook. But that is going to be the 7th stage, I believe, for Velociraptor, which means no, I'm sorry again, it's 6, unless the spectator's wrong. But that does mean that we only need, I think it's 2 stages more for Lasfer to take the victory. And right now we do have Kego injured around the main building, going to be playing around this vault. Lasfer had broken out this door earlier, and Kego's doing a good job hugging this main building and playing around these turrets, but unfortunately for him, these turrets were not positioned in a way to where it's going to knock Lasfer out of power, despite being double turreted. That will be the down onto Kego, and it will also be a kill because Kego is on Death Hook, meaning that Prism survivors are now 2 versus 1 up against Lasfer. Lasfer's running straight down towards Shack that had progress from Xander earlier. We do actually see a turret set up here, going to be applying that Eruption as well. Look at all the turret pressure, going to be knocking Lasfer out of power. Fortunately though for Lasfer, the tunnels are going to replenish that power and continue the pursuit around these generators. We do actually spy Autumn here at the shack. Unfortunate for her, that is going to be some information given, and Lasfer is going to be chasing Autumn. And remember, 1 more stage is enough to win. Can Autumn keep up a chase in enough time for Xander to pop a generator and both of them to escape without giving up a hook stage? Very ambitious tail whips coming through from Lasfer. not quite going to land. Now the survivors of Prism, who have to be splitting these generators, are doing their best job to pre-leave and pressure. That is the name of the game, and Xander is already making a lot of distance towards the other side of the map, allowing Autumn to pressure that shack gen. We have a double turret setup here, going to be knocking Lasper out of power, which means that that chase potential is going to be reduced ever so much up against Xander, who has this modified tile here. And Lasper knows that an M1 killer in this situation is not going to be able to get a down in time, is going to drop chase, get the power back in tunnels, and go straight back towards that shack gen. Autumn did have enough time to pre-leave now, though, and Lasper is stuck going between these two generators that have quite a bit of distance between them, even in the tunnels. The positioning of the tunnels as well, I mean, they know the exact way that they need to be pre-leaving. And Lasper is forced to chase this survivor Xander around the main building, which is going to waste so much time. Xander doing a good job just holding distance around the walls, finally going to start chase after 2 laps. But now with a flashbang going to delay that tail whip ever so slightly, but enough for it to matter. That will be a tag onto Xander. And now we have this modified tile. Lasper is going to vault it, forcing Xander over towards the pallet. And a swing and a miss. Very interesting play from Xander there. Does he make the pallet? No, he is not going to make it. And that will trigger that eruption on that last gen, likely leading to a 4K1 result. Very good attempt from Xander to just make that chase last as long as possible. And this generator has quite a bit of progress as well. It is regressing due to that eruption. And Autumn is now stealthing, might be trying to go for the save, might be trying to hover around to pop that last generator. We're going to have to see what happens, but we do see some footsteps here with no tunnel in sight to get up there. But Lasper is going to try to cut Autumn off from picking up Xander, which is crucial that he finds Autumn here. If Lasper wants to walk away with a 4K1 and the win con, Xander cannot get picked up. In fact, I'm shocked that Lasper doesn't just go for the pickup right now to secure that win con. But here we are. Lasper has chosen this battle, is now looking for the down Xander, who was in this area but has managed to crawl away. And Lasper not quite sure where Xander has crawled to. Does not hear him on the ground. And Xander doing a good job just positioning away from Lasper, and this means that Lasper's away from the generator and Xander at this moment. Might go for a pickup play, but we are going to have to see. We do see Lasper go straight back towards Shack that is still regressing. Is now looking for Xander on the ground in the middle side of the map. We see the blood trails, and that is going to be Xander found in the middle of the map. Yeah. And that win condition hook is going to come through. Lasper playing this extremely well, doing a great job at pressuring survivors off the generators and getting some pretty decisive chases as well. But now Lasper wants to continue playing this out, get the best result he can, and a 4K1 is actually shabby. Is looking around for Autumn. He believes is in the area, but cannot find Autumn anywhere in this tile or the edge map. Does find Autumn now, and that is going to be the last chase of the game. Autumn cut off from the save. Going to be making that vault, but an M1 is going to hit Autumn right in the back. And Autumn is now forced to play a pallet, which are not the best up against Xenomorph, but a good dodge into a drop is actually going to get a stun and extend this chase even more. Autumn is putting up a good fight, going to be looping around this pallet. Not quite going to make it though, as the tail whip comes and secures that 4K1 for Loyalty. Loyalty with that is going to be taking the first set of this matchup. And next up, we're going to have to see what Loyalty is able to do on their killer pit. That is going to be an exciting game. So please do remember to stick around. Thank you for watching Auric League's Winter Tournament. I am your Captain Tyro, and we will be back very soon. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Auric League. We are here in the middle of the winter tournament. And we have Prism versus Loyalty. And last game, we managed to see Loyalty's killer, Lasper, give an impressive 4K1 result on the Xenomorph in order to secure the win. And now we are seeing Lasper playing the Artist up against Prism Survivors. And Xander is taking the first chase. And a very good, ambitious bird coming through from Lasper, trying to get that early tag, but Xander plays around it extremely well. He's going to be playing around this pallet, manages to not only shake off the birds, but get a stun onto Lasper, who did not quite respect that pallet enough. And now Lasper is going to be ditching that chase and going up towards the top side of the map. We are going to see, I believe that is Kego up here, and Lasper trying to get, ooh, very good mind game coming through from Lasper, going to be getting that tag onto Kego, and Kego is running straight down back towards the bottom side of that map. But at the same time, we do see Xander kind of caught out here, going to be eating a tag through the pallet, and Lasper going to be holding Xander here. Xander wants to make it back towards the bottom side of the map where the Corrupt has the generators blocked in order for his team to maybe complete some top side generators, but Lasper tries to zone him, but Xander's pathing here is incredible, going to actually break the zone. And Lasper now kind of forced to go away from those two injured survivors who are now on the bottom side of the map getting reset, and is trying to pressure the generators up top. We do see a lot of progress over here, but with that 4-bird spread from the add-ons, going to actually find Snapply on the top side of the map. Luckily for Snapply, though, that cooldown is extremely long due to the 4 birds, and that's not going to be... Ooh, very well played from Snapply with the micro fake to make Lasper send the bird early. That's going to be an extended chase. We do have this edge map palette, which can be quite strong up against Artist if you play it right. Snapply does try to play around that bird setup, but is not quite in range. A very ambitious swing, and that's going to be a stun as well. And now with that blind, that's going to be Lasper not able to aim the bird to zone properly, and Snapply's going to be making it over towards the Z-wall. A generator pops in the center of the map. We do see Snapply in the area, going to be going for the vault, but it's not enough. That's going to be a grab, and the first down happening here at 4 generators. Very aggressive play from Lasper, but in the end of the day, I do think that the chase was a little bit long due to giving up those chases, and that's 2 generators in response. Very well played from Prism to notice that topside generator had to be completed before the hook came through. And the macro from the survivors here is just out of this world so far. Lasper going to be playing around this hook, but Prism have broken this 3-gen at the top side of the map. They only have to worry about the 3-gen on the bottom side, and that means that Lasper cannot really afford to camp this hook that long. He has to deal with the survivors over here, is setting up, I don't know what to call this. A slingshot doesn't make sense, but that's what people say. Is setting up a multi-hit. And an immediate pallet drop from Xander, going to be buying some distance. Lasper chooses to just break, and is now going to be aiming birds back up towards the hook. Does not find a survivor. Snapply might just go second. He's trying to set up the power. We do see a survivor running up there, and Lasper really wants this tag using the birds. The unhook comes through, and both birds miss. Very well played from Prism survivors. And Snapply's going to be running over towards this pallet gym, trying to buy as much time as possible. Lasper is going to trap up this pallet with the power, going to force Snapply away. Snapply does not play that edge map pallet. Instead is going towards this pallet. And that will be a down before he can make it in order to get some sort of pallet save going. Unfortunate for Prism survivors, but at the same time, they are just cranking away at the generators on the bottom side of the map. Lasper does manage to get a hook, but the survivors for Prism just have to work those 2 bottom side generators if Lasper continues to camp this out. Prism's macro is incredible right now. They do, Autumn is going to be found by the birds, but hops into a locker in order to get rid of them and dodge the follow-up attack. And right now, Lasper is just choosing to camp this hook, but I mean, that is going to be an unhook and a 40 people play, and the down is not going to come through due to the pallet there. And that means that the tunnel out is now lost, and the 3-gen down there is broken, which means Lasper has to choose whether to pressure this generator over on the side with a good pre-fire there onto Autumn. Going for a 4-bird barrage, going to be tagging Autumn and getting a hit right through the pallet. Very good down from Lasper. This could turn things around for him if it gets snowballing. But right now, one thing to note is that even if he hooks on this generator that has quite a bit of progress, the survivors just have to pressure the generators on the other side of the map. Lasper cannot afford to stay in this area, but he's doing a clean sweep, looking for any survivor on this side of the map, setting up for a save. But at the same time, the survivors, they have to be cranking those topside generators, just getting the pressure going. Lasper is stuck in a predicament. He's going up top and finding Snappily and Kego. You have to wonder if it's going to be a down onto Snappily. Snappily is going to get injured, but Snappily will get down here at the top side of the map. Snappily is on death hook, but they might be on those doors at the bottom side of the map. Autumn was unhooked. This does buy some time. The survivors could be opening the door as we speak. Lasper not sending birds right away, is going for another bird slingshot, whatever the hell you call it, play. And manages to get an injury onto Xander, but it's not enough. They are running right out the door, and that is going to be a 4-stage game for Prism. Well played from the survivors. And now we're going to have to see whether Loyalty survivors can keep up with that result. So please stay tuned. Thank you for watching. We will be back momentarily. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Auric League in the winter tournament. We have Prism versus Loyalty yet again, and this time we have Kego on the Artist playing for Prism up against Loyalty Survivors. And last game, we managed to see Lasfer get 4 stages up against Prism Survivors. So that means Kego just needs to get 5 stages or more in order to secure a win for this set and let his team move on towards the tiebreaker. And right off the bat, we do see Kego just holding the choke here, looking for any rotations and trying to catch survivors off guard. Right now, we don't see any survivors in the area. Kego trying to check down the map as well as looking around on the sides for any survivors that might have crossed over, but no action as of yet. The survivors are playing extremely well, playing super safe, not letting Kego get any information on their whereabouts, while Kego continues to spend time down here in the corrupted area and is not going up towards the top side. We do see Kego finally starting to place birds and look around in the top side of the map, but does not look like Kego is finding any signs of these survivors. They are playing extremely safe, and with a win con like 5 stages, it is understandable why. Kego is now checking around the generators, looking for any signs of survivors in the vicinity. But again, they're just playing extremely well and extremely safe, and that's going to be Corrupt gone, which opens up the map quite a bit. And Kego is now kind of forced to look on both sides of the map rather than just holding that cross. We do see a crow disturbed down on the bottom side, and Kego's trying to check around for survivors. We do hear some progress going on the bottom side generators, and Kego's now trying to push the survivors off. We do see that ruin in play, which is going to be a lot of passive slowdown, and now we are going to have a chase, and it looks like Shoal is going to actually leave that tile and go down towards his shack, playing this extremely well, holding that distance, and Kego does have this side blocked off, but a very good stutter set control is going to force the M1, but it's better than a bird hit. In similar play here, Kego is going to be setting up, looking for Shoal, trying to get that hit with the power to get a quick down, a bit of a block onto Shoal, and that's going to be a down with the power. And Shoal's not quite underneath the pallet. A bit of a, I think that was a Champion of Light play, it looked like almost. But it's not going to be enough. That will be the first hook of the game at 5 generators. 1 stage out of 5 collected. And this has been pretty well played from the survivors at this point, but no generators have popped. Kego does know that there's a survivor in the area that could be pressuring the save. They're doing a good job of stealthing and not being found. But Kego kind of content to just hold this and say, screw the top side 3-gen. I'm just going to protect my 3-gen down here. And it's going to be very interesting to see what happens moving forward. We do see some movement over there, some crows being disturbed. And Kego's just content to just sit here, pressure that hook, as well as pressure that generator over by the dump truck. Kego is going to get the tag onto Lasfer, and just remember, every time a bird gets sent off, it does force Lasfer off that generator, which is going to be some progress stalled thanks to that ruin. 2 generators pop now in response for this. Shoal likely going to that second stage due to Kego patrolling the area. That is going to be a second stage, and that is 2 stages out of 5 that are needed. And Kego continuously just pressuring whoever that survivor is off the gen. Lasfer just continuously pressuring them off the generator, using the crows to continuously force lockers. But now that that ruin's gone, that's actually going to stall that quite a bit. We do have some movement over here. It does look like our survivors are trying to set up for a double save onto their tunnel out shoal, but we do have Shack Light here, basement light with that hill, and Kego is content to just hold these two survivors here, knowing that they can't get pressure. Very interesting to send these two survivors in specifics, because that does mean that Ray is the one pressuring the generator with that perk. Lasfer is here to try to take a hit, and that is going to be a hit tank as well, leaving 3 survivors injured. But now Lasfer and Karma are trying to run up the map. They know that they have to get away from that 3-gen side of the map, but at the same time, the hook requirement is so low, they need to be able to milk the resources for all that they're worth. A very good bird placement is going to come through from Kego. Not quite going to be landing that. And a bit of a mind game, not quite enough. That's going to be some killer instinct onto the survivor. We do see the reset onto Shoal, who was the tunnel out. But Kego trying to get that down onto Karma. Karma does have this modified tile here, going to be running around, trying to get the pallet vault. Does get the vault, but Kego missing on the swing. Just aims a little bit too low, and that's going to get a lot of distance towards yet another resource. And a down is going to come through, but is that going to be a pallet save? We hear a survivor in the distance, but a little bit early on the throw. That is going to be a pick up for Kego. They do manage to get a generator finished on that side of the map, breaking that 3-gen, but at the same time, we have the 3rd stage coming through at 2 generators. Kego only needs 2 more stages to go, and this entire time we've had that slowdown from goodness gracious, I should know this. I looked it up the other day because it was in a different game. But yeah, we do have Kego with 3 stages here at 2 generators. It's going to be very, very beneficial for him to try to camp this out and try to get a trade happening. Because if one more stage comes through, that will be a tie. However, we do actually see the unhook. That's going to be a tag onto Karma. And Karma does not make that much distance thanks to the lockers there that they tried to access. The perk's name is Wretched Fate, by the way. It's the new Dracula Hex perk. The Obsession does the gen slower. And this whole time, Ray has been on these generators doing them slower than they have been. Oh my goodness, that is a ambitious save attempt from Lasper. But now we are going to see Karma get picked up, securing that 4th stage for Prism. And only 1 stage is needed now in order to secure that victory. Kego is chasing an injured Lasfer down the map, going to try to get that down. Meanwhile, the survivors still need 2 generators to pop. And that is going to be quite a bit of distance for Lasfer there. The bird's not quite going to hit. However, it does reveal another survivor in the area, who is going to be Ray, trying to get that vault off. Goes for a bit of an Oxdarva mind game at the shack, but it's not going to be enough. And now we see the zoning coming through onto Lasfer. Lasfer kind of stuck at this pallet at the dumpster. And we do actually see Ray coming through to take the birds. And it's not going to lead to a down here. Lasfer playing this chase extremely well, not going down. We do have Ray here as well, trying to play for as much distance as possible. But Kego swings right around him, getting the down. And that's going to be a pickup as well, securing the victory for Prism for this set. Which means that we are, in fact, going to tiebreaker. Very well played from Kego, but he's not done yet. He still has the rest of the match to play out with a very spicy perk in his back pocket that we're going to get to see later. But the unhook is going to come through onto Lasfer, the injured Lasfer, just making as much distance as possible. Meanwhile, Kego seems to be going for the fresh hooks here, going for a hit onto Shoal, who is actually a tunnel out. Not going to be pressuring that injured survivor. that does look like it's going to be an M1 onto Shoal. Shoal's going to be making a lot of distance towards the top side of the map. We do see Karma in tow, though. Probably going to be playing for some hit tanks and trying to get their teammate out of this. That is going to be an adrenaline play, and that's going to get Shoal quite a bit of distance away from Kego. Kego going to have to play around this pallet. We do hear the slow vault and a very good run play from Shoal, but it's not going to be enough thanks to that no-ed. Going to lead to the down. And that will be Kego getting that 6th stage for the result, just to confirm that they are winning. But with that, that will be 1-1, and we are going into a tiebreaker match. That's going to be extremely exciting, so please do stick around. Thank you all for watching. We will be back very soon. All right, welcome back to Auric League. We are here in the tiebreaker set, and that is going to be an ARP Plague set. We got Velociraptor on the killer first, going to be playing for Team Prism, going up against the survivors for Team Loyalty. And last game we saw Kego on the Artist managed to get that 6 stages in order to secure the win for Prism, bringing us to this tiebreaker. So let's see if Velociraptor will be able to keep up that momentum. It looks like Velociraptor's content to just be puking on these generators and does actually see Lastfur on the rotations up towards the middle of the map. Goes for a puke, but it does not quite land just yet, and is trying to get an infection onto Lastfur as fast as possible. Lastfur hugging the TNL, playing this extremely well, but however, it does look like that infection is finally going to come through, and that is going to be a cleanse on the Ruin Totem. That's going to mean no Ruin for the remainder of this game, which is going to hurt Velociraptor quite a bit. Because of Plague's power, if you are infected, you're more likely to pre-leave, and that does manage to get a little bit more value out of that perk. But now we're going to have to see what Velociraptor is going to do as Corrupt starts to head to an end. We are about to see Corrupt run out, and we only see an infection onto Lastfur. No other infections in sight. Velociraptor's not going to check that very far back gen, is instead going to be continuing the assault on the cross here, looking for any rotations. But right now it does look like our survivors on Loyalty are doing something pretty similar to what they did last time. They waited out that Corrupt in order to get a bit of a better handle on the macro, and we are going to see that in this game as well. Corrupt is now over. That's going to be Lastfur on the chase. Pallet drop right now. It's going to ensure that this chase lasts a bit longer, and Lastfur has to be close to being infected now. But Velociraptor is trying to get the M1 mind games around this filler, and this is a great filler for Lastfur here. A bit of a respect coming through from Velociraptor, and because of that respect does not get the hit. And now he's forced to break a pallet and trying to zone Lastfur towards the bottom side of the map. That is going to be the full infection onto Lastfur. And now we're going to have to see what Velociraptor is able to do. Another really strong filler here. Is that going to be enough? Kind of gets caught there on that tree. That's going to not be enough. And then the stun comes through, getting lots of distance for Lastfur. Lastfur just making so much distance off of that and making it towards another strong filler pallet. And another stun is going to come through. Velociraptor not quite able to convert this into a down, and those gens on the top side of the map have to be flying at this moment, especially without the threat of Ruin. You know that they are not going to be going for early pre-leave. Velociraptor chasing around this down pallet. I don't think he's going to be able to make the swing here, but a hit tank coming through from Ray. Extremely well played from Loyalty so far. That's going to be even more distance for Lastfur up the map. And Lastfur trying to get out towards the top side of the map, going to try to get a better death spot than the bottom side where the 3 gen remains, but it is not quite enough. We do hear survivors in the area. We see some firecrackers being thrown, but it's not going to result in a save. And now Velociraptor is forced to camp this hook out on the bottom side of the map. He is going to be spreading infection towards these generators. These gens are super close, though. If you're going to have a 3 gen on this map, this one is probably going to be the most beneficial one you could ever ask for. Additionally, I'm shocked he doesn't go for a quick infection on that middle generator. I believe that would be the one that they are more likely to infect. I do think we're going to see that, but he's a little bit afraid of a fast pull that is going to wind up being a infection on that middle generator, and we have to wonder if the survivors are going to just tough out the infection to work on that generator, or if they're going to wait out the duration. But Velociraptor's just hanging around this hook, trying to pressure any survivors in the area, and trying to make sure that these infections last. Velociraptor is going to pick up the power which all but guarantees that this is going to be a second stage if a survivor is caught out, unless Velociraptor misplays. But Lasfer is just hanging on, might be going second, but at the same time, the survivors might be content just letting this happen. They're probably working on those other generators across the map and are fine with getting it down to one last generator. The second stage comes through for Lasfer, and now we're going to see a tag onto Karma. With that Corrupted Purge, though, this could be a very quick chase. A very good idea coming through from Velociraptor, trying to throw that Corrupted Purge where it was. And a very good fake coming through from Karma, just going to be making so much distance toward the top side of the map. One thing to note, though, is that they are not infected, which means that they can heal freely. And Velociraptor is forced to come back down towards the bottom side of the map. He is still trying to get this pressure onto Lasfer's hook. We don't see any survivors coming through from the save, but we actually do see a save come through. One tag onto the base kit borrowed time, and then some Corrupted Purge coming through as well, but it is not enough. That's going to be the time limit. And now Ray is going to be infected, and we do actually see Shoal in the area as well. No infection coming through onto Shoal, but now we're going to see an infection, and he's going to try to get a hit tank. Velociraptor might be threatening it with that Purge, though. Is not quite going to make it. We do see the pallet drop, and Lasfer is making a break for the top side of the map. This is exactly what they want, but Velociraptor calls a head-on play in the locker, gets the down, but continues the chase onto the tunnel out Lasfer. I stand corrected. It does look like he's actually going to be going down back for this pickup. Joel is going to get injured, and that's 4 injuries on the board, going to be securing that maximum strength Thanatophobia. Velociraptor getting a bit greedy for this hook placement, and they do actually pop this bottom side generator, which means I don't think that there is a 3-gen in play ever, or not anymore. It's been a long day, folks. I apologize. But we do see some cleansing coming through. Lasfer going to be cleansed, which means that Thanatophobia is no longer at full power. And Velociraptor's just trying to make the best of what he can do with the power in hand and going for a chase onto Shoal. The unhook is going to come through onto Karma, though. And the 2 survivors here are going to be making a break towards the top side of the map. No Corrupted Purge charged here. Instead, waiting for an ambitious shot rather than going for something a bit more safer on that window. Does not quite get that Corrupted Purge on the bus. However, is going to get the follow-up because you cannot outvault a Corrupted Purge. That will be the second stage on the Karma. That's 2 survivors going to be on Death Hook. Lasfer is not infected right now. Is probably on that top side generator, and I think Velociraptor's calling that as well. Going to be going up there. We do have one more fountain in play due to the use of the Apple add-on. And we are going to see a balanced landing come through from Lasfer. Lasfer is going to be making a break for it. But with the replenishment of that Corrupted Purge, that's going to be a quite strong OG Velociraptor going back down towards these generators that have quite a bit of progress. And there's a pretty good tunnel out target just waiting for Velociraptor at the bottom side of the map, which we are going to see if he can get. But Karma's doing a good job just running towards the shack. Velociraptor trying to get some mind games going, but Karma playing this really well, just holding that long wall, just trying to deny any usage of the power. A bit of an ambitious use of that Corrupted Purge there. However, that one does manage to pay off, and Karma walks right into it. That's going to be the pickup and the Death Hook here at 2 generators. Very well played from Velociraptor to secure this. And Lasfer cannot play too greedy as a result because he is also on Death Hook. Velociraptor going towards the top side of the map. That bottom side generator actually popping. I am curious if we are going to see a survivor pressuring these 2 top side generators. We do know that both of them had quite a bit of progress. But I think Velociraptor wants to wait. Oh, but we do actually see a pop coming through. But rather than seeing an infection here, Velociraptor does have the haste, which is going to reveal that it is Noed in play, which is going to be very interesting for the survivors to try to play around. We are going to see Ray running around, doing an excellent job around this pile, but is going to go down to that Noed at the end of the day. And with that pickup, that's going to be a fresh hook, I believe, onto Ray, which will secure 3 more stages, which will be vital in this tiebreaker set. We are going to see some cleanses. Both of them are down at the bottom side of the map, though, which means that Velociraptor kind of knows their location. That is going to be a pop onto the Noed and an infection onto Lasfer, which, if not managed properly, that could result in... oh, I stand corrected. We do actually see Shoal going for the save and getting it onto Ray. But we have 2 doors on the bottom side of the map, and both of those survivors are up there on the top side of the map. And Velociraptor now has that Corrupted Purge due to their cleansing. We see another cleanse from Ray, but we don't have any door progress. And Lasper does get hit by the Corrupted Purge here. And another Corrupted Purge, but it's not quite enough. Going to be going for it here under the pallet. No, going to see a pallet stun, and now Velociraptor is scared of a survivor getting onto the door. Is going to go out and try to pressure it. We do see some scratch marks here, but they are just running towards the top side of the map. It's unlikely that a tag is going to result from this, but the door was being opened the entire time by another survivor. And I believe it's going to be Shoal up here, who is on Death Hook. No, wait, last one. Yeah. We are going to see Shoal up here, who might get hit by this Corrupt Purge. Does not quite get hit by that. The Corrupt Purge is almost going to run out. We did not see Velociraptor choose to pick up that other... and some incredible dodge coming through from Shoal. Shoal's going to get tagged and run straight through the pallet, but without that Corrupted Purge, a hit tank can actually secure the outs here, which is going to be vital in Loyalty's set. We do have Velociraptor trying to cut off Shoal from the door, doing a pretty good job of getting that distance and cutting them off from that door on the bottom side. But now it's all just a mind game. They can actually heal here, which is going to be interesting, but it looks like Velociraptor might have overstepped a little bit. Did try to get the Corrupted Purge, but it's not quite going to happen. They know that if they get the Corrupted Purge, that it's just going to be outs. And it does look like Shoal manages to get right by Velociraptor. That will be a tag, and they will be on their way out the gates. And Lasper has to be on the other door, or is setting up for the shack escape, which we're going to see in a second. My guess is, yeah, he was on the other door the whole time. Very well played from Loyalty to get that result there at the end. We're going to have to see whether Prism survivors are going to be able to do that here in the tiebreaker set coming up. Please stay tuned. Thank you all. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the final game of this matchup. We are here with Prism versus Loyalty. Last game, we saw an impressive performance from Velociraptor on the Plague, and now we're going to see if Lasper can topple that. And immediately we find Xander, who has no Mither, going to be in chase with Lasper, and Lasper already getting kind of a zone onto Xander into a dead zone up here on the top side of the map where Corrupt is. Snappily getting infected by touching a generator, and Xander running straight towards the center of the map, greeting a pallet. A bit of a mind game coming through from Lasper, but it's not going to be enough, and that's going to give Xander quite a bit of distance going out back towards this pallet. And Xander's playing this incredibly, but does get a little bit caught out there, a bit too patient on that pallet vault, and that is going to lead to the first down of the game here at 5 generators. We are not going to see a save on that pickup, and Lasper is going to be dragging Xander way to the top side of the map where no generators are being worked. That is going to be interesting. However, Lasper can keep the generators infected and keep survivors off of them while pressuring it, and we do have a bit of a 4-gen with these 2 generators practically kissing. That is insane for Lasper here. And with that hook way in the back, going to be pressuring the survivors, it's going to be quite a bit of a challenge for the survivors of Prism. That is going to be a blast mine, though. We could see a save really quickly here due to the kick stall, but that's not actually going to happen. No pull comes through. Lasper goes straight back to the hook, where actually a pull does come through, albeit a little bit late. Interestingly enough, it was Snapply who came for the pull, and that could have been a reinfection. But now we have Xander playing around the main building, going to be playing this really patiently and probably going around the long side. Snapply's here to try to take a hit, but one interesting thing about that is that you're already fully infected. That's going to be a down, proccing that eruption, and that's going to also lead to a hook here on the top side of the map yet again. Snapply is going to get hooked, giving us our second stack of No Way Out. That is the noise that we heard there. And now with these generators up top still not finished and being infected, we have to wonder what the survivors are going to be doing. We do see some pressure over there on that side of the map, as well as some pressure on this top side generator. But now Velociraptor kind of caught off. Not going to get any more infection on him, though. And the last healthy survivor, Autumn, going to be found and infected by Lasper. Oh, pardon me. Goodness, it's late. But that is going to be all the survivors infected, which is going to make his save extremely difficult. But the save does come through while Lasper goes to pick up power. And now we have the main building, which is going to be all the protection that these survivors can get. Lasper coming through towards the bottom, going to be trying to get that Corrupt Purge onto Snapply and get a fast redown. The Snapply has made quite a bit of distances using the obstacles here to try to break line of sight and gain even more distance, while Lasper continues the Corrupted Purge, and they do manage to get a top side generator finished, the one in the middle. But that gen spread is still in Lasper's favor, and that will be second stage onto Snapply with a hill on top of that. And now Lasper is in command of this game. All the survivors are injured, and last game, I believe Velociraptor got 7 stages total. And right quickly after that first hook, we're actually going to see Autumn get caught out and downed. There are also scratch marks and blood pools in the area, giving Lasper knowledge of all 4 survivors' locations. Velociraptor going to be faking the pallet or the window vault there, not leading to a down right away, but finally that down's going to come through. And with 2 survivors injured and a third one snappily on Death Hook found here on the center of the map, that's going to be Lasper zoning away from the bottom side. forcing Snapply to go down. 3 survivors on the ground. Xander, the only one left standing. That will be the pickup onto Snapply and the kill at 3 generators. And Lasfer has quite a bit of momentum now. All 3 survivors infected. Goodness gracious, it is late. I apologize, but we do have the pickup onto Autumn, but Velociraptor never got picked up. Xander's throwing that pallet, trying to get as much distance away from Lasper as possible. Lasper going for an ambitious Corrupted Purge, and it's not going to hit Xander. But now Velociraptor's locations are unknown. That is going to be a pickup and some scratch marks revealing that they are in the vicinity. And that's going to be Autumn playing around this truck tile. Does not quite call Lasper's mind game and is going to eat an M1 down. And that's going to be the 3rd hook, the 3rd stack of, or the 3rd fresh hook, the 3rd stack of No Way Out. And inching ever so close towards that win condition that Lasper needs. And with a kill that early at 3 generators, it's going to be an uphill battle for the survivors to be able to reach that win condition, especially with Lasper going for broke with a Corrupted Purge up against Velociraptor. Velociraptor positioning around this hook extremely smartly, trying to not give any possibility of a tag, and then gets a lot of distance down. A Hail Mary throw from Lasper, not going to result in a down. But now with Autumn getting unhooked, that's going to leave the survivors very vulnerable. And we're going to see Xander caught out here. Is not going to go for the vault, but Lasper does not swing. And that will be another down as the survivors struggle to get anywhere. We see Velociraptor still here at the top side of the map. Lasper holding an incredible mind game and getting the down onto Velociraptor. Xander does have no Mither. This could be a pickup if Lasper does not remember this fact. But I think he's actually going to... No, he doesn't actually go for a pickup. Instead is trying to go for Autumn. Autumn needs to buy enough time for Xander to pick himself up. There it is. Xander's going to pick himself up. And then now we're going to have to see what the survivors do from this position, because Velociraptor's still on the ground. Lasper's just holding this angle as well, knows that Velociraptor is down over here, trying to get as much pressure on these survivors as possible. But yet again, Velociraptor crawls away and cannot be found. I'm curious if we have a tenacity in play from the survivors, because he has just been out of there every time he's been left as a slug. We do see some pools of blood, but I think that's from a standing survivor. And now Lasper is forced to be into chase with Autumn. Meanwhile, a generator pops on the top side of the map, breaking that 4 gen, yes. But there's still a 3 gen, I believe. And on top of that, a down survivor somewhere on the map. And the information is vital. Lasper goes straight to the survivors, knows exactly where they are. We see Xander in the area, going to be vaulting into main, and Lasper's trying to zone him up towards the top side of the map. Going to be getting that vault. Very good patient play from Xander, playing this extremely well, holding that distance around main, and Xander trying to not give any inch to Lasper. However, Xander's time might have run out. There's no resources in sight, just one window and a dream. This pallet is already thrown. That's going to be Xander going down, and with the power of agitation, I don't think Xander is going to be hooked anywhere close towards that bottom side where he needs to be. And the eruption information on top. Lasper getting 6 stages, just needs 1 more stage in order to secure win condition, but it looks like he's going for a 4K win, or 4K result here by pressuring this 3 gen, this amazing 3 gen on the top. When he's applying that eruption back on that progressed gen, but Velociraptor comes through with a very quick save. Xander forced to body block here. But Xander knows that he doesn't have much in the terms of resources. Is going to have to force to vault his window. Lied saving him though. He's going to make it towards the bottom side of the map, and Velociraptor is down there with him. And Lasper, concerned about this last 3 gen, wanting this 4K win condition, is going back towards the top side of the map, going to be looking around, and Autumn was up here sneaking this top side generator, trying to get as much progress as possible. Lasper going for an eruption play, getting blast mine, giving Autumn enough distance to make it towards the bottom side of the map. This is crucial for the survivors of Prism. I am shocked that they do not triple cleanse down on the bottom side of the map, knowing that he can only get value out of one fountain at the time. But it seems like they want to continue playing this injured. They do not want Lasfer to get power. They've seen what he's done with it already. And now Lasfer has them exactly where he wants them. They are all away from the objectives. They only have this edge map palette here for Autumn to play around. And Lasfer calls it perfectly, does not go... Oh, but a little bit of a misstep from Lasfer. Going to extend the chase even more. The palette going to be broken, zoning Autumn. But Autumn might make this other palette as well. Going to be point teching, trying to get under the pallet for a potential save. Is it going to come through? We're not going to see a pallet save, but we do see across the map the generator being worked by the teammates. That topside generator that did have eruption on it, but it is now going to be cranked by whoever that survivor is up there. Lasper barreling down the ARP crossway section straight for that generator. Will it pop in time? We do see Autumn get pulled. And this generator has so much progress, but that 10% from eruption going to be extremely important and does not actually get finished. And that will be Xander in chase. Xander running straight down towards the bottom side of the map, going to be playing around the truck pallet, going to be greeting it one time. Lasper going for a bit of a mind game, but it is not enough. Xander going to be dropping it. Lasper going to be breaking it. And then distance. Xander is running down towards the bottom side of the map. However, he has no resources in sight, just a Z-wall and a dream. Lasper trying to read a mind game. However, it does not go off. Xander not going for the vault, playing around it, but does actually go down in the bottom or in the edge of the map. A lot of time was bought there by Xander, and that generator is going to pop as a result, but it is far a little too late. That is the final hook for Lasper to claim the victory, to claim the 2-1, and to claim Loyalty winning this matchup. But at the same time, Lasper is not done yet, is just going straight down towards that bottom side of the map, trying to pressure whoever is in the area off of this generator, trying to get even more once this 4K1 result, wants there to be no question who won this matchup, and is just trying everything he can in order to get that result. Lasper running straight towards Shaq, looking for the survivor who pre-left that generator, looking around for anyone who could be in the area, but cannot find anything. Very good stealth here from Prism. Denying that information is vital at this stage of the game in a 2v1 situation. And at the same time, this topside generator did have quite a bit of progress. It's down to nothing because of the use of that eruption. But this top generator at main has a lot of progress. It has been worked recently. That is going to be Blast Mine, slowing Lasper down even more if he wants to apply that eruption to the generator. And yet again, we are in a predicament for Lasper. He has to find the pre-lead. He has to find the survivor in the area. He's looking around the side here and actually finds the survivor. That's going to be Autumn, found at this tile. Going to be a down, proccing that eruption. And with Autumn on the ground and Velociraptor's aura revealed, it looks like Lasper is going to get what he wished for. He's going to get that 4K1 result and prove that Loyalty should win this match. Extremely well played from Lasper this game, securing that win condition and getting above and beyond with a 4K1 result on the ARP. Prism putting up quite the fight, bringing us all the way to tiebreaker 2-1. But in the end, it was unfortunately not enough for Prism. And Loyalty is going to take this matchup. Extremely well played from all the members of Loyalty. Lasper with some outstanding killer performances on the Xenomorph and the Plague. The Artist result was not enough to win that set, but he still did a pretty good job as well. Prism survivors just had a little bit of the edge there. but that will be the 4K1 securing victory for Loyalty. I want to appreciate everyone who stuck out with us for this matchup. Thank you for staying up. Thank you for watching. We are going to end it here, but be sure to make all our next games. Join the Discord in order to find out when they are scheduled and for notifications. Thank you all for watching. My name's Tyro. I've been your caster tonight, and I hope you have a good one. Peace.